Well, that was a short break. We are back on Virtual Pool 4. We are back for 3 matches tonight, or 3 possible matches in the Virtual 9-Ball, or the 2021 Virtual 9-Ball World Championship here in VP4 Online. And we have 5 minutes for the first 2 matches of the evening to go ahead, provided all players show up. Mr. Strokem's been in practicing, and he's due to play Bedhead at 7 o'clock, which, as I say, is in 5 minutes' time, 7 PM GMT, and will be British summer time as of, well, according to Mark, 1 AM tomorrow morning. The clocks go forward. We've also then at 7:30, so that's half an hour after the first matches start, we've got another match between Mr. Fox and Marvin, is it 96 or something like that? I can't remember. Those matches are due to go ahead. The first 2 will clash, obviously. We'll keep an eye on how Larry and Christian are doing. Again, provided all players show up. But the one we are concentrating on is going to be the match between Bedhead and Mr. Strokem. So, we had a match earlier on there that was, well, that was tough to watch, between Ballendern and, I've forgotten his name. What the hell was his name? Big something. Again, it's the name of somebody who, Jug-Eye Bob, that's who it is, who eventually won out by 19 racks to 13. But it was a long, long struggle. Both players struggling for consistency, but the better consistency, no doubt, in the end, and the more effort put in, was most certainly done by Jug-Eye Bob, and he deserved to win in the end. Good evening, Slim. Just in time for my little announcement. It's nothing major, it's just something I want to do, because nothing else seems to have been done, but I'm just doing it on my part. Good evening, Jack Brown, whoever you are, that's a new name. We're only a few minutes away. Mr. Strokem versus Bedhead, race to 19, jump cues are on, golden breaks are on. We had 1 golden break in the last match. Winner breaks as well. Everything is as normal for a proper Virtual 9-Ball World Championship. Well, no doubt Bedhead is a contender, but Mr. Strokem, if he plays his cards right, he can, and if he can jump on the mistakes if Bedhead makes them, which he's bound to, we'll see a few of the Bedhead cuts, no doubt. But Bedhead's actually been playing pretty solidly, what I've seen recently. He's been undone by handicaps, obviously, in Friday Night 9-Ball, but he's played pretty solidly. But he should be the favourite to win. Now I've got the stats up for the tournament so far, which you can do by going to the stats page and then going to statistics, searching the game type, and then searching tournaments, and then you search for the actual tournament itself. So I've found the 2021 World 9-Ball Championship. And if we look at the stats, we can see the stats of the players that have played so far. But the more important one is the breaks. And the more important one for what I have planned to do is not a stat. We're not talking about the runouts from the break, so that's breaking, potting the ball and then running out. This is this is obviously, well, the count is 3 there and 3 there as well, but there's also racks high run, which is consecutive racks run. But what I plan to do is, on the break stats, sorry, not in the break stats, the one that I'm focusing on is a racks run. That's where a player has came to the table and ran the table, not necessarily from the break, but ran out. And at the moment, the top player for that is Cirrus, who has managed to do 7. Never heard of him. That's another player I've never heard of. But we're going to keep an eye. I'm going to keep a top 10 list during the tournament. I'm going to keep that up to date, because this is an important one. And at the end of the tournament, and it's obviously going to be a player that gets towards the end of the tournament who's going to win this. But whoever has the highest racks run for the tournament, I'm going to put $1,000 into their account as the prize. So that will go on top of whatever prize that they get in the tournament. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be the winner of the tournament, because the racks run doesn't necessarily work out like that. It doesn't mean to say that it's going to be one of the 2 finalists that will win that. It might not be. But what we will do is, I will donate $1,000 to that person's account, whoever wins the racks run total, not racks run out from the break. It's the racks run in total. So at the moment, the leader for that is Cirrus, and that's going to change very rapidly and very quickly. And you can see that Whiskey struggled. He never got any. Right, so bear that in mind and pass the word about, because not everybody will be here. But it's not something that Celeris are doing. It's not something I'm doing on behalf of Celeris. It's something I'm doing on behalf of myself. So that will be, this match has already started. I'm busy gabbing. So the prize will be $1,000 on top of whatever they get for the tournament, and that will be for whoever has the most racks run. And it's not racks run in a row, it's racks run during the matches during the tournament that counts, this one. So I'll keep a tab on that. In the meantime, we've got the 2 matches up. I noticed that there's 1 player in the room between Bedhead and Mr. Strokem. I don't know how many's in the room with Larry and Christian, whether Christian's turned up, because I can't see it for the chat. Let me just move that for a sec, hang on. We can get the bloody thing out of the way. Hang on a sec, just so I can get it across the screen. Well, Larry and Christian are going ahead. So Mr. Strokem was here. Where? There he's in a room. He's in playing in a room. He doesn't want to start messing about. He wants to get out of it, get into the tournament room. But, well, it might be a quick tournament for him if he doesn't get in, but I'm going to head in, and I'll move that chat out of the way in a second, provided we can join the room. Oh, he's joined. We're just in nice time for the lag. So of course this isn't a handicap tournament, it's scratch, and Bedhead has won the lag, and Bedhead will break. So the break is dry. Mr. Strokem straight out with the jump stick. Well, that 1 ball is just past the centre line on that middle pocket. It's going to have to be extremely thin if he's going to try and cut it in, and he's got it perfect. Okay, he's never guaranteed he was going to be in the 2, but it was a good shot in the 1. So welcome back everybody, whoever's arrived, whoever's still here. We've had a 2 hour 40 minute epic earlier on. Hopefully this will be a bit quicker. So Mr. Strokem out with the jump cue again, and once again he is on fire with the jump stick straight away. A good jump bank on the 2 ball. Oh, he's a bit short. He's going to have to do it again. This is going to have to be 3rd time. Well, he's given himself every opportunity to show off with this jump stick. There's another name I'd never heard of, Hairpig. Well, this time he's off the mark. Well offline with that one. And his Bedhead going to pinch the rack. So I'll clarify that again for any latecomers in a little while. But there will be an additional 1,000 V dollars, which is a prize that I'm putting up out my own pocket, which will go to the player with the most racks run. Not with the most racks run in a row. The most runouts will count. Wink at Me needs to play Wii. What the hell does that mean? Well against him. Ah, I've got that now. So Bedhead completing the formalities. I thought that Mr. Strokem was going to start off with a blast there with the 2 shots he had with the jump stick, but in the end it was all to no avail. Bedhead has come in, tidied up the first rack, and he's now got the break and a couple of balls in the break as well. And provided he can cut the 1 and bring the cue ball, well, he might actually chip into the 4 and hold for the 2 here by the look of it. Let's have a better look at it. He might be able to chip off the 4. He'll be hoping he does. Oh, well, he's missed the cut. And he's also covered himself in the 2 anyway, but he's got away with it. He's left nothing for Mr. Strokem. So I presume that, I wonder if those stats update on the fly. I wonder if they do. Let's have a look. Well, if I refresh that, it's going to go back to the bloody blank screen, isn't it? I'm going to have to search for it again. Let's try it anyway. Let me do a refresh. Right. So I'm going to have to go to statistics, then you go, well, you leave it at 9 ball. Then you go to tournaments, and then you type in 2021, and then you delete the 1, and then it will find it there, and then you go. And it doesn't update them in the fly because none of these players that are playing are actually shown on the stats. So this is the stat I'm talking about. The racks run, that's the one that whoever has the highest amount racks run during this event, during the whole event, they will get an additional 1,000 V dollars added to their account. So the leader at the moment is Cirrus with 7. But that is going to change left, right and centre all the way through the tournament. Good evening and welcome to anybody else who's joined us. We'll also we'll bring up the bracket so that we can jump backward and forward and have a wee look at how Larry's doing. Larry should be a comfortable winner. I think, with the greatest of respect to Christian, it's a tall order for him to get much out of Larry. And meanwhile, Bedhead, well, here he goes with his favourite shot, the Bedhead cut. I knew it wouldn't be too long before we got one. It's held a rail, the pace is a wee bit too much. He's going to have to dig out another one. In fact, he might end up hitting it, the 5 ball here. There's a very strong likelihood he will. He looks as if he's drawing off it though. He's drawing off the 4 to try and avoid it, and he's played it well. Well controlled. So, a reminder to anybody, I don't know, I presume the whole of Europe, the clocks go forward, but the clocks go forward tonight. And in the UK, the clocks go to British summertime, which basically means you get an hour less in your bed, unless you just have a long lie-in, which I can't. And somebody can also do me a favour and keep an eye on how the match between Barry Hawkins and Ronnie O'Sullivan's doing. That'll have just kicked off in the evening session. It was 4-all after the first session this afternoon. Well, it's a good start for Bedhead. 2-0. And the 1 ball is tracking towards the corner. I don't think it's got the legs, has it? Not quite. So Mr. Strokem has his chance. Good evening. Good evening, MC Clarkey. So again, I've got to keep explaining this to these latecomers about my little prize that I've got on offer. You're probably better off watching the rerun of the stream, going to the beginning of the stream, and then you'll hear what it is, rather than me having to explain it every time. Well, again, this is the thing. I'm sure it was Mr. Strokem. I can't remember what tournament it was, but he was rushing too quickly to play shots. And it definitely was him, because he'd done it right there. Well, this is all because one of the players in the match earlier on today, again, the names are just gone straight out my head. Venna something, what was his name? He was taking his shots far too quickly, not setting himself. And it just brought back the memory of Mr. Strokem, and I'm positive it was him. And he's going to commit the cardinal sin time and time again, I think, and play straight into Bedhead's hands. He needs to get himself set. So, Bedhead with ball in hand. Well, he's going to go between the 5 and the 7 here, because he's got the angle to run into that position. He just needs to bounce a bit. That'll do it. So basically, Rack's run is consistency we're talking about. So the consistency and the eventual winner of the $1,000 V prize is not necessarily going to be the winner of the tournament, because it doesn't necessarily work out like that. It's certainly going to be somebody who goes deep into the tournament that's going to win it, but it would then mean that somebody I mean, I looked at Stubbs' statistics on the other Friday night 9-ball the other week there. They were very good. So Stubbs got a chance, Cobra's got a chance, Bedhead's got a chance, Larry's got a chance. All these top players have all got a chance of winning that additional prize on top of whatever they get out of the tournament. But it's 3-0 to Bedhead. Balls in the break. But no shot in the 1. We've lost the 2. We've lost the 7. It's going to have to be... Well, if he gets the actual potting line in the 2, he's got a very strong chance of this 3 going in, even though there's a distance between them because the line is good. But he's not interested. He's looking to keep it tight, but that's not good enough, Bedhead, because Mr. Strokem can cut the 1 onto the 4. But is Mr. Strokem going to take advantage of this chance? I'll tell you what, he's going to have to. Trailing 3-0 already. Well, there's no doubt the 4 ball's going to go in. He just needs to hit it with the 1. But he needs to hit it gentle enough that the 1's not going to run away somewhere. Well, I'm not so convinced that that was maybe the right shot, because okay, he's left it safe, but he had a chance there to win the rack and he's refused it. So that means then he's got to win the safety battle, or it's all to no avail. Well, I know for certain that any of these other players would not have refused to cut on that 1 ball onto the 4. And Mr. Strokem's going to have to play the jump shot combo, 1 onto the 5. And he's nowhere near it. Well, that's one thing he might have had to do a bit of practice on, because he's failed miserably with that one, although his first 2 jump shots were excellent. So once again, it's a gift of an opportunity for Bedhead, and well, we'll never know now, but Mr. Strokem didn't go for the cut in the 1 onto the 4, and he's going to pay the price big time. Well, he's looking to just come down past the 6, leave the 3 into the middle, but he's overhit it. He's just overhit it a bit too much. Still shouldn't be a problem though. Oh, he's overcut it. Well, there you go. Now the question is, and Mr. Strokem can get the cut in the 3, he needs to watch he doesn't brush that 8 and scratch. Now he's okay, he did brush the 8, but kept him away from the pocket. And now just a draw off that 4. Well, he didn't really get into it enough. Oh, I forgot about the 5, my apologies, I forgot the 5 was over the other corner. Pay attention, Hugh. Well, that's not a bad line to be rolling the 8 ball in, because he's going to finish dead on the 9. And he's going to get his first rack on the board. So he can breathe a sigh of relief. Oh dear. Well, he's got a ball in the break, and the cue ball seriously thought about going in. Welcome back, Keith. And, well, it's not set as a combo. and he can't get to the one to even try and cut it because it's too close to the rail anyway. So he can play the push out. Or he can look to get the safety. Now, is Bedhead going to have a bash at this? I mean, he could give it a fair chance of going in this combo. Well, he's going to get second prize again. He's got more or less full cover in that one ball. Not difficult to kick. Right, let's go to the tournament bracket and have a look and see how the other match is doing. Well, we can see Larry is 4-1 up against Christian. Like I said, it should be a comfortable win for Larry. We've got the other match that starts, or is scheduled to start at, I thought it was 7, it is 7:30, so that is about 10 minutes away between Mr. Fox and Marvin 96, if he shows up. And then we've got the match that we're currently watching. And Bedhead looking to restore that 3-rack lead. Now he's just looking to drop this 5 ball in dead weight just to leave the cue ball there. I would think to push the 6 down onto the 8. Well, I haven't a clue what Bedhead's idea was there. Somebody can explain that to me. I have not got a Scooby as to what he was thinking. Maybe he had too much angle. But he's left himself the cut down the rail. He's got it. The old Bedhead cuts. We've seen enough of them tonight already. Well, the awkward one now is getting from the 8 to the 9. It looks all so simple. Well, he's going to have to use the rail here. And that's dangerous because that 8 ball is deeper in the pocket than you think. So he's going to have to play the drop. Oh, he's 5-4 up now. And he's going to, is it going to go too far? Yep. That's always a danger when you're having to draw for position. Drawing for position's never great unless you've got a margin of error. And Bedhead's gone square and he's just caught the jaw, but it's gone in. Good evening, Hazad. Welcome to everybody. So 4-1 for Bedhead, and he's looking to lock Mr. Strokem up, and that will do nice. That is nasty. Well, he's certainly got to a rail, but he hasn't got the other bit of luck he needed there. So the lifesaver is that 5 ball, which is hidden behind the 6 underneath Mr. Bedhead's cue. The 5 ball can't be got at where it's sitting at the moment, and I don't think it can be got at enough to pot it. It certainly cannot from where it's sitting there. Now, he's finished just enough on that 3 ball to run down into the 5 and 6 and hope he gets lucky. Or is he trying to get inside it to pot it? He thinks he can get there. Well, convince me he can see enough of it. He obviously thinks he can. Now, was that a legal shot? Never doubt the commentator's eye. And Bedhead has given Mr. Strokem a free gift here. A free go with ball in hand. Well, he just wants to get right over to the left, so he's rolling the 8 down the rail. I would just like Mr. Strokem to slow down a wee bit, because he can easily get himself in trouble. This should have been dead straight. He's just... I just panic for him when he's just rushing at things a bit too much. See, like that? That's the perfect example again. He's just rushing at it. And it was Mr. Strokem that was a culprit. I can't remember what tournament it was, but he did exactly the stuff like that, where he's just rushing things. Somebody send him a PM and tell him to slow down. Because that's why he's making mistakes. There's no other reason. He can pot a ball, but if he just slowed himself down by 4 or 5 seconds, he'd be a far better player. And he's going to scratch here, I think. And Bedhead's been gifted 2 or 3 of these racks. Oh, Tony Sam's made an appearance. I hope he doesn't send me a PM asking how he contacts his bloody opponent. Well, Bedhead locked up behind the 4. And once again, Mr. Strokem is going to have a free goal. And is he going to balls this one up as well? He just seems to be in a race, in a hurry to do something. Add that 4 or 5 seconds on to your visit and you'll get there. And now he's overcut the 5. See, it's just untidy. It's untidy and careless. That's the name of that lawyer's firm. Untidy and careless and sloppy. That's the name of them. Sloppy, untidy and careless. Well, Bedhead's fluke to 8. That's not going to help Mr. Strokem at 5-1 down. Well, the overcut now is going to give Mr. Strokem another go, and he cannot afford to mess this up. He has to take it out. But he's going to have to work the cue ball. And this time that's worked out nice. He's got a nice angle in the 7. Just to leave this 9 straight into the bottom left. And then it goes. Well, he had to get that because this match is threatening to run away. Well, the 6 kicks the 2 in. And he's lying on the 1. A quick look. Well, Larry is now 6-2 up. And it's about 30 seconds away from Mr. Fox against Marvin, if Marvin showed up. Now, is Mr. Strokem going to get himself on that Rax Run board? Well, he's just overhit that by a fair bit. But he's got a good angle though. Just to come across the table, let the cue ball do its thing, pot the 6, cue ball's going in the right direction. And again, he's almost overcut it. It was just the pace that kept it in. I haven't a clue who. Aye, that's wait a minute till we see this. I'll have a look and see who he's playing. That's a good question because I can't remember who half these people are playing. But it's going to be a run out for Mr. Strokem. Desperately needed run out. Let's have a look. Where are we? Jose, Bill, Candyman. I can't see him. Have I gone past him? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one good first round tie. That, by the way, I knew there was one. Now, Tony Sam is no mug, although he's mostly a snooker player. Well, that's booked in for 8 o'clock on the 31st. Now, what day is that during the week? That sounds like my day off. What date's the 31st? Somebody look at their calendar and tell me. This is what, oh dear. Well, the mistakes made there by Bedhead. It's 5-3. And Mr. Strokem with a gift. Oh, is that the Thursday? Well, that's my second day off. I'm off Wednesday, Thursday this week, so I'll get that one as well. And Mr. Strokem having a look around here. The first big problem is this 4-ball. He needs to just slow down. He got the right idea. Oh, it's a Wednesday. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever day it is, Wednesday, Thursday will do me fine. I'll be able to get that one. That'll be a good match. And a big test for Cobra straight away. There could easily be a shock in the first round. If you want to call it a shock, it wouldn't be much of a shock. Oh, Stwain's arrived. What's happened? The shooter's pool burnt down to the ground this time. Or is it just the servers again? What's Cobra saying? For me? What does that mean? Have I missed a bit of the chat? I bet you there's 100 odd people in Shooter's Pool right now on a Saturday night. Well, you'll have a long wait just tell Jorge to do the right thing. He needs to do two things. He needs to get rid of the aim restriction thing, and he needs to bring in Cowboy. And if he does that, I'll be over a bat out of hell, and I'll bring my Cowboy playing buddies with me. Until he does that, he's got no chance. You said it will be a. Now I must be missing sentences here, because I don't know what Cobra's talking about. All I've seen is for me. It will be a. Well, it could be a very tight match. Tony Sam is no mug. He just doesn't play 9-ball. Oh, Mal won't be in Shooter's Pool. You see Mal's review in his YouTube channel. He like me had a conversation with Jorge and told him what he didn't like about it, and I don't think they've done it. Listened to anything. So Mal won't be back at Shooter's Pool either. Well, who the hell's playing? Who the hell said Cobra was playing Tony Sam? Oh no, it's Spectre Dawn. It's me. It's confused. It's that time of night. Aye. Anyway, forget what I was saying. Oh, I'm ready for bed. Yeah, Spectre Dawn. Where did Cobra come into the conversation? No wonder he's bloody confused. It's me that's confused. It's the brain shutting down. It's this time of night. The clocks go forward. I've already got my little clock in front of me set, and it's 25 minutes to 9. Oh dear. Let's not go down that road and get into that discussion pot, man. I don't want to talk about what I don't like about Shooter's Pool. I've talked to him blue in the face, and I don't want to get started again. But no, I won't be in Shooter's Pool. My account can expire if it wants to. I won't be making my way. The only way I'll be there is if it's the only thing that's available. Well, Bedhead he's doing everything in his power to keep Mr. Strokem in this match. But Mr. Strokem is going to have to make a combo with that 2 and 6, and they are too tight together. Well, there is a little gap. He's going to have to cut across that 2. He's just going to have to cut it slightly left to right to make the pot, and then he doesn't know where the 2 ball's going to finish. Who's that guy that does the streaming? There was a guy streaming the other day on Shooter's Pool, but I don't know what language he's talking, but I was the only spectator he had. And again, he was just streaming himself playing, which to me, again, I just don't understand. There's bound to be at least one tactical genius in Shooter's Pool that could do commentary. Bound to be one. I mean, I'm struggling to find another one in Virtual Pool 4. I can't get anybody who'll join me in the commentary booth. Well, don't forget, Sid Waddell was an author. He was a wordsmith, Sid Waddell. Ah, suddenly Strain doesn't understand English. Ah, there we go. Well, I certainly didn't understand that guy that was streaming the other day, because he was talking some foreign language I didn't know what he was on about. Well, you've got to remember, I'm hardcore. I don't pull any punches. When I see crap, I call it crap. They won't like that. They would kick me. They would kick me out of Shooter's Pool for that. I give an honest opinion. Whether you like it or not doesn't matter to me. Well, anyway, Mr. Strokem is only 2 behind. It must be a quiet night in Shooter's Pool if you're watching this. That's all I'm going to say. In fact, what you should do is put the link in the Shooter's Pool lobby and get those guys to watch this. There must be a few bored people in there with nothing else to do. Just give them the link to YouTube or Twitch, and they can join in the fun and laughter. Right, let's while this backward and forwards going on at the moment, let's have a look at the bracket and just see how things are doing. First of all, let's have a look and see whether this match has gone ahead. Where the hell is it? The one with Mr. Fox. Where the hell is it? Oh, there we go. Mr. Fox and Marvin. And Marvin 96 is 2-0 up. Well, there we go. We're going to have a quick look at that at some point. He's got a 2-0 lead against Mr. Fox. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one. And where the hell's the Larry match? Larry is 11. Is that 11-2? Yeah, Larry's racing towards the finishing line in that one. But we might have something interesting to watch. Well, that 3-ball, I think it could be feathered in. Bedhead putting a wee bit of right on it, just he's trying to check it up, but he's going to scratch again. Goodness me. Well, everything that's happening to Bedhead is giving Mr. Strokem all of these chances to stay in it and get back on par. Although he's going to struggle with this one. Is he going to go for the bank? He's got the bank. Where's the cue ball? Well, this is really, really tough. Whatever happens here, the cue ball's got to go back over to the left. Well, he didn't hit it enough anyway because he's left it way short. He wanted that cue ball back over to that diamond on the left hand side, and Bedhead's got out of jail here. And that's the type of thing that Mr. Strokem cannot afford. When he gets chances like that, he has to take them to keep with Bedhead. And he has to slow down a bit as well, as I said earlier. Well, meanwhile, Bedhead, well, everything moved there, but not one ball went to a hole. And even though Mr. Strokem's got the 1 and the 2, he's going to struggle for the 3, and the 5's hidden behind the 8, so he's going to have to get nasty here and lock Bedhead up. Good evening, Semi-Pro. Well, he's went all out for the bank. He had no chance of potting the 4 and getting good in the 5, so he would have been far better playing a lock-up safety. He might find himself in trouble here in a second or two, Mr. Strokem. Well, the only thing that's short there is the pace, but he's got the distance, which is the most important thing. Well, remember I spoke earlier, if you heard the first stream I did earlier on, Semi, I was talking about the guy that lost the first match earlier on. I was talking about the speed he was playing, and then when I mentioned the matches that were getting played tonight, particularly this one with Mr. Strokem and Bedhead, something rang in the back of my mind about Mr. Strokem playing too quickly and not thinking enough in a previous tournament that he was playing in, a big tournament. And it is Mr. Strokem, because he was doing exactly the same as he was in that tournament. I can't remember what tournament it was, but he's thrown away chances here. He just needs to add that 4 or 5 seconds onto his time, and he'd be a much more solid player, much more reliable. It's just scary when he starts hitting balls too quickly. Bedhead going for the combo, is he? Well, Bedhead's had a fair few scratches that have given the chances for Mr. Strokem to stay with him, but Mr. Strokem blew a chance in that last rack, which allowed Bedhead to open it up to 3 again. Well, Bedhead, I can't remember what one it was. Honestly can't remember. Whether it was the 9-ball one where it was the alternate break one, I can't remember, but yeah. He's a good enough player, he can pot a ball, but he's just too much in a hurry a lot of the time. Bedhead gets the escape. Well, this 3-ball goes, and the 4-ball goes. And this is going to be a test of queuing, and he's run it into the 5, and Bedhead ready to pounce. Well, we're going to have another quick look at this bracket while Bedhead's at the table, because this could be an interesting match between Mr. Fox and Marvin, because Marvin is 3-1 up. Marvin 96, whom I've never seen, I don't know where he's from, but he's got a 2-rack lead. Meanwhile, Larry is 13-3 up, and it's just a matter of time for Larry. Bedhead, wrong side of the 4, but he's going to have to leave a long 5 if he's just running to the rail. And of course, the lifeline, the safety net, is there for Mr. Strokem, unless Bedhead tries to get up the table to play the bank. No, I mean, that's the one thing I found, that watching a lot of the players, especially a lot of these guys doing the streaming, they're not very good. But you know, they'll get better, no doubt about that, but there's not probably as much quality there. But then again, it's not as easy a game to play. Not if you've moved from, well, certainly that's what I find. It's not as easy to play because of the difference in the viewing, that the viewing limitations that you have. I'm not used to that. That's the main thing I don't like about it. I like the choice of cues, I like the tables, I like everything else. I like the fact you can set your own tournaments. I like the fact you can have 3 versus 3. Lots of good things about it, but that's the main thing, is the main functionality of it I don't like, which is why I won't be back. Well, Bedhead is stretching away again. It's now gone to 8-4. So it's getting a bit of a tall order for Mr. Strokem, unless he makes things happen himself. He's going to have to take advantage of any chances he gets and make the most of them, which then increases the pressure even more when he knows that. He knows he's trailing, he knows he's got to keep in the game, and that'll probably bring out more mistakes, which is fine as far as Bedhead's concerned. He'll just pounce and pick them off. Who's Barry? Barry Gawkins. Well, the last update we had, it was what? Was it 540 O'Sullivan? So that's 2 in a row for Hawkins. I might see some of that yet before the night's out. Well, on my clock, of course, it's 10 to 9, but my wristwatch it's 10 to 8. So it's approaching my bedtime. So Mr. Strokem, a simple enough combo. The one ball will squirt along the top rail. Now what's happened? Is he fallen asleep here or what? Or is he disconnected? Something has gone very still here. Oh, he's woke up again. I'll have a quick drink if I can find my bottle. Yeah, the one ball was always going to squirt away. As it squirted away too far? And then of course there's problems ahead. He's gone for the bank. This time it doesn't work out, but Bedhead's going to have the same problem. Although, well, that is not a difficult combo to make, although the 8 ball's going to the jaw, but it's easy to compensate for that. But you need to get a good line behind that 5 ball. Now let's see what Bedhead's thinking of doing. I think he's thinking of trying to get as good on this 5 as he can. He's surely not trying to get on the short side of it. I don't know what the shot clock setup is in this tournament. It looks like a minute or something, which is more than enough to give you time to get set up. Well, he's having a look at the line, so he just needs to cut that 5 across the 8, and then of course again needs to get lucky with the 5 ball as to where it's going to end up. Well, that's nasty. He's too close for the cut. He's pretty good position for the bank. Oh, he's overdone it. And has he got away with it? I think he has. So Bedhead escapes with a miss in the bank. Mr. Strokem looking to hide the 5. Well, he's done the best he can, but could have done with been a bit tighter to the 6. It would have prevented Bedhead being able to see I don't know whether he can see it. Maybe he can't. Yeah, he can see a tiny edge of the 5, but he's kicked it in, which was always a possibility there. Well, this is going to be another sore one for Mr. Strokem if Bedhead can see this through. And he's coming down. He needs to get off the rail though. Well, is he going to try and run across the table twice to get a closer potting angle in this 5? Is he going to run it with pace? Oh no, he's managed to get there. He's gone a wee bit too far. But this 9 for 9-4. And he's cut it into the rail, and it's a gift. And that's what happens when you get in the underside of that 9. It is always dangerous. You're always going to cut it inside to the rail. And Mr. Strokem gets a gift returned here. It's back to 8-5. Now something must have went there. 2 ball has gone. He's got, I don't know whether he can get a very thin edge of that 1 to cut it in. Let's have a look. No. So looking for a good safety here. Well, that needs to slow up a bit. Well, it's not bad. Easy enough to get to the 1. Somebody needs to get Super Noob into the stream. Well, it's a chance for Mr. Strokem. The 1 will squeeze past. Now where's the cue ball ending up here? I think he's okay. Well, he's going to have to see if he can drop through for this 4 into the middle. That needs to slow up. He's gone too far. Now he's got an awkward shot. A blind pot into the middle. Cue ball's heading up towards the 8 ball. Yeah, this is not easy. That's going to hit the point, is it? No, he's okay. Well, this is an important one. Well, they're all important, but he's got to do his best to keep in touch, because then the deeper it goes into the match, the more the sphincter muscles start to tighten in both players. That's how you can add the pressure, as long as you stay with Bedhead. Oh dear, no sooner as the commentator said that than the curse has jumped up and bit it's reared its ugly head and bit Mr. Strokem right in the butt. He's hung the 6 and his chance is gone. And Bedhead just feeding off what's left to keep his lead and stretch it to 9-5. Where's the cue ball going? I think he's okay. Right. Well, once he gets good on this 9, we'll have a little update in the bracket. See how things are shaping up. Well, let's get the line right. He's overdone it big time. See what happens when you just don't get that good alignment. It's another gift for Mr. Strokem. And it's back to 8-6. And if Mr. Strokem starts getting a bit of luck as well, this match could turn on its head. Well, he hasn't got any luck in the break, I don't think. He's come up dry. Now let's have a look and see how things are going. Well, at the moment it's 5-3 to Marvin. And where the hell's the Larry match? All of a sudden I've lost it. Oh, there he is. Larry 15-4 in front. So that won't be that long till that's over. And Larry will be through to play Potman with the greatest of respect to Christian. So back to this match. Bedhead at the table. Now it looks as if, well, he's going to have to drop right down to the bottom rail. He made the mistake earlier on with one of the shots where he thought he could get to the 6 ball from the side rail. He's going to have to get right onto the bottom rail if he's going to cut that 7 in. You know, he's almost gone too far. I think he'll get it this time. He's almost gone too far. He's just got there. Well, does he bank this? Because that'd be the easier way, just to squirt out to the side for the 9. Because if he's going to cut it, he's going to have to drag this to try and take as much pace off it as he can to stay the bottom of the table. You see, he's running away up the table. Well, this is a tester, and this is a pressure shot for Bedhead, because Mr. Strokem is sitting there ready to pounce like a coiled spring if he gets a sniff of a chance. But Bedhead's got the 9, and the cue ball stays on the table, and Bedhead maintains his lead. Well, we've lost to 2. With this table sitting wide open for whoever pots the 1. Now, is Mr. Strokem going to go for the bank? He's going to have to make the bank. Push that 1 ball towards that diamond to try and make the line to the middle pocket. And he's not going to have a great position in the 3 if he does do that, though. But that is a poor one. And you can't be doing that, I'm afraid. It's given Bedhead first go. And if Bedhead can get this 1 in the 3, then you would think he's got to be out. What ball's that up there? Is that the 8? Yes, it is. You know what? I never even noticed the 4 ball over the top right hand corner there. I never even saw the 4 ball there. But Bedhead saw it. And Bedhead, well, he looks to be fairly comfortable here to open the lead further. Well, he's gone dead straight in the 7. No sooner have I said that, he's got himself in trouble. And again, he's having to take his medicine and leave himself at distance for the long cut. But the cue ball will be heading in the right direction, over to the right side of the table. The 9 ball into the bottom corner, and the pace is good and the line is perfect, and it's going to be 10-6 to Bedhead. But we've had no golden break so far. We've had 1 in the streams today. Just won in that last match, but nothing in this one. You know, I've been playing that. I downloaded that. I said that the other night there. I've been playing that Assassin's Creed, the Viking one. What's it called? I've forgotten the name of it, and I've got the bloody thing on the PC. I've been playing it, and I'm bored with it already. Well, Mr. Strokem has got an ugly 5-ball here. Valhalla, that's the one. Yeah, I'm bored with it because the last one I played, I've only ever had one of those games, and it was the one that was set in Egypt, which admittedly I completed it, but this is pretty much the same thing except it's set in a Viking era. Different landscapes, same setup, nothing different. Another important rack for Mr. Strokem, just to stay in touch. But he needs something to happen for him now. This is the point where he needs something to happen because he's still trailing. He needs to get on par. And he needs to find a way to narrow down that deficit. And he's done the first thing, get a ball in the break. He's done the second thing, get on the 1. He's got the 2 over the left middle, the 3 over the right middle, the 4 by the 9 ball, and then the problem ball is the 5, which he can, well, he's made a complete hash of the 1 and fluked it. So he's got out of jail there. Again, he's doing everything too quick. This 5 ball he can punch around the table and lock the cue ball behind the 8 if it comes to it. No, I've just I have to go to another. I'm trying to remember. I've just won a battle, killed some guy, and then his son has escaped. His son ran away in a horse, and now I have to go to another town. I was doing that earlier on tonight, and then I quit. But I'm getting bored with it already, and honest, you know, because it's too much the same as the previous game. But I've certainly not got to England. I've done a wee bit of sailing from down, you know, a couple of fjords. I've been to Stavanger when I wasn't supposed to, because I just sailed to there. But no, you know, a lot of games now don't hold my attention for a great deal of time. Well, you're saying it gets better, but I don't know how long my patience can hold out. I'm just glad I never bought it and paid 50 quid for it. Because it's an even bigger feeling of disappointment when you end up doing that. I'd much rather try them out nowadays. That's why half these games don't have any demos. They don't want you having a demo of it, finding out it's shit and not buying it. They'd rather you just buy it and then realise you've wasted your money. Well, Mr. Strokem misses a kick, and Bedhead with ball in hand has his chance to remedy the 5-ball problem, but he's going to go for the 3 fouls by the look of it. He's going to lock the cue ball up. And have Mr. Strokem in knots here. Now, has he got to a rail? Has he got to a rail? Well, that's a complete hash by Bedhead. He hasn't got the ball to a rail. And, oh, he'll be kicking himself. Now, what does Mr. Strokem do? Because he might do what I said earlier, because he can't pot the 5. So if he pots the 4 and gets good on the 5, he can punch the 5 around the table and bury Bedhead. Now what the hell's he doing? Oh, he does realise the 4 ball's still on the table. I thought he was going to try and play the 5 there. Well, he looks as if he's trying to force this 4 in and run through. Well, oh dear, that's a disaster. That is unlucky. Cue ball running around and scratching. And now Bedhead is balling. This is a bit of a comedy of errors, this rack. What's the rising 9? Is that a graphics card? Well, he's got the breakout on the 8. Well, Mr. Strokem, all of a sudden, from being gifted a chance to try and put Bedhead in trouble, he took the aggressive move to open up the locked up balls and ends up scratching. And Bedhead, again, just ends up tidying up the mess, and the lead goes to 4. Right. We'll see the break and then we'll have a quick look at the bracket. Larry must be about over the line. 2 ball goes in. He's going to have no shot in the 1. So let's have a look at the scores on the doors. Well, Larry is 1 away and he'll be over the line any minute now. 18 racks to 4. And Mr. Fox, well, let's see what's happening there. Mr. Fox is now 7-5 up against Marvin. So Mr. Fox has started off slowly, but he's got himself into the match and into the lead. And there we go. There's the result through. Larry was always going to be a comfortable winner in that match. 19 racks to 4. And I'm sure Larry will have got himself onto this this racks run leaderboard that I was talking about. So for any latecomers, I'm sure there's bound to be some. We'll have a look at what I was talking about earlier. If we go to the stats page and we go to statistics and then we go to tournaments and then we type in 2021, delete the 1, it brings up the 9-ball tournament, hit go, and if we go to the 9-ball stats and we go to racks run, the racks run tab shows you that Larry in his match has run 9 racks, so Larry is now in the lead. And the reason I'm saying that is that at the end of the tournament, whatever player has the most racks run, I will add in $1,000 to whatever prize they get for the tournament, if any, and that will top it up. So whoever gets the most racks run throughout the whole tournament, that will keep counting up and it will keep changing. They'll get an additional $1,000. Now you can see that Larry actually ran 3 racks in a row. But this is the one that matters. Whoever gets the highest count there will get the additional 1,000 for that. So back to where the hell is it? I go forward. Oh, it must not be. Hang on a minute. There we go. So the Larry match is finished. So once this one's finished, we'll go in and have a look at the Mr. Fox match with Marvin. According to that, it's still 7-5. Let's do a quick update with that and then get back to this game. Well, it's now looking a bit distant for Mr. Strokem. He's 5 behind. Bedhead with the break. Couple of balls in the break. Well, he has a shot in the one, but he's going to have to cut across the table and leave the combo in the 3-6. But it's not an easy cut in this one. Mind you, if he hits it hard enough, it probably could go in off the 6. If he hit it to the rail. And he's not interested, doesn't think he can get to the 3. But he's got a much better chance of playing a half decent safety, which he's done. Well, Mr. Strokem's got the hit. But Bedhead, again, Bedhead can easily cut the 1. But is he going to have a sight on this 3 ball to be able to cut it onto that 6? Because you can see the 6 is, well, pretty much bound to go in if you hit it at the right pace. Of course, the problem, as usual with this sort of shot, is the 3 ball staying handy and the cue ball coming back up the table. And the 3 ball is staying handy and the cue ball is coming up the table, but not quite far enough. Now Bedhead should bite the bullet here, get the pace into the cut and get the cue ball down and up the table for the 5. Unless he's going to try some fancy stuff. Yeah, he's got to let it run. Needs a nice little half ball kiss. And that will do it. And we'll have a look at the, we'll go back to those stats at the end of this match to see how things shape up after this match is finished. We know Larry's already on the leaderboard. Is Larry in the stream yet, or is Larry not joining us? Is he maybe away for a break after his match? I haven't seen him. Oh, there he is. Did you hear what I was saying earlier, Larry? About my little prize that I'm putting up? Or do I have to explain the damn thing again? Oh, did it? That's good. Well, you're in the lead at the moment. Well, it's going to have to be the 3-4 as the combo. Well, he's just overdone it. Just a bit too heavy. Should still give this a pretty good chance to go in. Just all about a nice decent pace. Cue ball coming back across. Does it, Larry? I never noticed that. Let's have a look. I've never used the bloody thing. Where are we? I don't see any stats on here. What in the bracket? I'll have to look at that again after this rack's finished. Though the main tournament page, right, I'll go to that in a second or two. I don't think I've ever went to the stats that way. I didn't even know it was there. Well, Bedhead is pulling away comfortably now. And we'll give him this rack. Let's go to the event. Where the hell is it? Player comments, event summary, is that what you mean? Where's the stats? Event is active, event bracket. Right of more details. Now, where the hell's more details? Or have I got it obscured by this chat thing? Oh, right, wait a minute. I see where you are now. It is obscured. I've got you now. Right. So, if we click the racks run and to bring the top one to the top, we can see Larry's in the lead, Cirrus in second place, and then whatever happens in these matches that are going on at the moment, that'll update once they're finished. So we're going to have a top 10. I'll copy and paste that into my notepad, and we'll have an update of that as well. Right, you're not telling us how much it cost. Jesus Christ, $4 grand. You're bloody nuts. I mean, the last one you bought was like $1 grand for the wheel, and that was without the pedals, was it not? What game are we talking about? We're talking about, what's it called? iRacing, is that what we're talking about? Well, Bedhead, if he gets this on the money, he could have good distance on this 3-ball. I just didn't have the pace in it. That cue ball should have been way up the table. He might end up in trouble himself here. But it's a long way back. Well, Mr. Strokem's feathered the 3. It is a long, long way back for Mr. Strokem. Let's go back to that bracket and see how Mr. Fox is doing. Where the hell is it going? Well, Mr. Fox is 8-6 up against Marvin. You know something, I got a set of Corsa when it first came out, and I thought, I mean, now, you should know by now that I'm not a racer, but I have to say, I thought a set of Corsa was one of the best driving sims that I'd ever driven, even though I don't drive them. I mean, I've driven pretty much most of them, even though I'm crap, but I thought one of the best physics that I'd experienced in a game was a set of Corsa. The only thing it didn't have was karts. I downloaded Automobilista 2 the other day as well, and tried it out. It's not bad. I was driving, I downloaded it and I got it installed, and I put the carts on, what do you call it? The Nordschleife, and we did 10 laps on the Nürburgring, the full circuit, and the carts were brilliant on it. Oh, they got mods out for it now. Yeah, mine's is my games. I don't think I've played it for a long time. It's not even installed on Steam, but yeah, when I tried it, I thought I was very impressed with how it actually handled. Very good. Well, Bedhead, slowly but surely marching towards the finishing line here. I mean, that's the one thing that keeps a game going is the mods. I mean, the mods for Eurotruck are what has kept it going since 2012 when it was released. All the map modders and all the truck modders and everything, and all the various graphic mods and everything that they've put into it. It's that keeps the game alive, and that's also what keeps the developers working at it as well. That's why there's always constant updates for Eurotruck, and more map extensions coming out. There's loads of them due to come. That's why I still play Eurotruck. I've never get into the multiplayer in Eurotruck. I've never get into that at all. I tried it when it first came out and it was so crap, I gave it up. It was so laggy and bumping into people that, you know, suddenly there was somebody right in front of you when they weren't there 30 seconds ago. It was like playing on a 56k modem. It was that bad. And it's another rack for Bedhead. Well, Bedhead's probably counting up these racks run, Larry. He might be knocking you off the top. Your timing at the top of the leaderboard might be short-lived, Larry. Well, this is backs to the wall now. Yeah, I think I had a 3-month subscription with iRacing years and years ago, and I knew, as soon as I played that, I knew my limitations. I thought, I'm in the wrong game here. As soon as I turned up, you know, I'm like the guy heading down the freeway in the wrong side of the road on that game. So I got myself right out of there. You know, they don't want anybody like me playing their game. That is for the big boys. You don't want numpties in your way in that game. And besides, you're not going to get into those races anyway, because you've got to get your licenses. You've got to prove yourself that you're actually capable. And I knew that I was not capable, so I got myself right out the door. The game was gone, and I've never been back. Well, he's going to have to get the juice into this one, and just not finish on the low side of this 9-ball again. And I think he's got enough on it this time just to spin out. That's perfect. So Bedhead moves to within 3 of round 2. So at the end of this, we'll have a quick look at the bracket, and we'll also have a quick look at the stats. Yeah, so you basically keep the numpties in amongst themselves and keep the quality racers well away from them. That's the general idea, but I don't have the patience for that. See, the other thing is I've never ever had the patience to actually go into detail about ride height, springs, all of that stuff. All of this jiggery pokery and mucking about with settings, absolutely no time nor the inclination to sit for an hour and a half doing all of that stuff before you even get in the track. That is too much detail for me. I'm very much a pick up, get into the car and away you go without a lot of fuss. I'm not that much of a geek to invest that much time into a game that I'm going to end up being crap at anyway. Right, well, while Bedhead looks to be running out here again, let's have a quick look. Keep a tab on what's happening. Mr. Fox is now 11.6 in front, so he's pulling away. So we'll have a few racks of that match to see at the end of this one. Yeah, a lot of games, a lot of racing games do that anyway. You know, you can download setups from their mod sites and stuff. So it's another one for Bedhead, and he's raced away with this match at the end of the day. He's got no shot in the 1. We've lost the 5 and the 8. Well, he's got a push out just to the rail there, to the short rail. That will leave nothing in the 1. But it might be a good idea. Well, it might have been a better idea to actually open the 2 a wee bit more to make it a bit more comfortable for an attempted run out if you get a chance. So Mr. Strokem pushes back to Bedhead. Somebody give me an update on the snooker, please, because I don't have it on. I don't want to eat up the bandwidth. That's a pretty good shot. Easy enough to kick at it though, but what's happening with the Ronnie O'Sullivan-Barry Hawkins match? Well, that's going to be ball in hand to Bedhead. That was not difficult to hit that 1 ball. But Mr. Strokem's hit the 2 instead. Somebody please give me an update before I fall asleep. And because it's now 9:30 on my British summertime clock setting. Yeah, this is tricky, this 2 ball. I mean, it doesn't really go anywhere without you getting into an awkward position to try and pot it. Well, he's trying to squeeze it up past the 4. He's pretty much got there. That's a good shot. And now, is he going to try and run near that 9 ball? Oh, 7.6 to Barry Hawkins. That's interesting. I might watch a bit of that before I hit the sack. Well, he's hung the 2. Question is though, is Mr. Strokem going to take any advantage of it? bop a loo bop. Bop bop a loop bop. A whap bam boom. Tutti fruity. Oh, he's going to finish up behind the 7, is he? Oh, has he just made it? Yes, he has. Well, there's still a fair bit to go in that semi-final match. Race to 10. Oh, good evening, Gloria. Never saw you there. Well, it's just going to be a single rack, but it's only going to delay the inevitable here, I'm afraid. But this is the Virtual 9-Ball World Championship, and as long as you've got the break, and as long as you keep getting a ball and a shot, then there's still that possibility, slim though it is. Well, extremely slim, let's be honest. But if you can run the racks, you can pinch the match. But that miss there on the 1 ball has given Bedhead a chance to get another rack run on the board and knock Larry off the top of the pile. We'll have a look at that stat once we're done. But it also gives you an idea of the quality that the players are putting into the game, you know, if they're actually being consistent. So, for example, when you see how Mr. Fox is doing, it'll be interesting to see whether he's got many racks run on his tab at the end of his match. Well, certainly not now. Well, he's got the bank. And he's got this cut in the 6. It still might be. Or did Mr. Strokem have a visit there when I was busy looking at the chat? Maybe he did. Well, anyway, it's 1 more and 1 more to go for Bedhead to take him through to round 2. And Mr. Strokem never really got into this match at all, and eventually just got blown away. And we've lost a 2 and a 3, and Bedhead sitting on the 1. And provided he can get good shape on this 4, he's got to be home and dry. The one that's going to decide it's getting from the 6 to the 7, because there's things can go wrong there, but apart from that, he should be out. Well, this is the one that will decide it. He's gone pretty straight. There's a bit of an angle there, but if he might end up going below this 7 towards the rail. Well, he's trying to run it, and he's run into trouble. Well, Bedhead, is he going to try and jump and cut this? He's lining up as if that's what he's going to do. And he's got it. And the cue ball's running safe, and it's running plumb onto the 8 more or less. Although he's the wrong side of it, but it shouldn't be any problem. But Bedhead is pretty much over the line. Well, that needs to keep running or slow down, one of the two. He's either playing in the middle or cutting it into the corner. He should be okay though. But these are little testy ones. And it's going to hang, and it's a gift. Nothing is a gimme when you're cutting at those angles. And it's just another consolation rack for Mr. Strokem. And when he needs a ball in the break, he ain't getting it. And Bedhead can get good distance on this. He might try and tuck the one ball over towards the 7. In the end, I thought he was going to try and put the cue ball in behind the 7, but he's got it behind the 9. It's an easy enough kick to get to the 1. Plenty of room behind the 3. Well, he's gone inside the 3. And, well, he hasn't left anything on. Not really. I mean, the 1's not going to go. 8's acting as a goalkeeper in that corner pocket. See, that is circuitry, guys, another new guy. That's about, many guys, there's about 3-4 names at least in this tournament who I've never seen before until this tournament came up. None of them. Those 2 guys earlier on, that match we watched earlier on, not a clue who they are, or wherever the hell they came from. And that could very well be it. I mean, these could be guys that do play in a regular time for them, middle of the night UK time. So Bedhead at the table, and I think he's gone pretty straight again in this 5. He's just going to have to run through, get on the short side of the 6, unless he's going for the big draw again. He looks as if he's beefing up here for the big spin. Yeah, juicing it up. And this 9 ball is going into the right middle pocket. That is a guaranteed certainty. Unless it goes into the top right hand corner pocket, but the odds on it's going into the right middle. Oh, Stubbs woke up. Now you're listening, Stubb, because I'm going to say this once again and I'm not going to explain it again. So Bedhead is the comfortable winner against Mr. Strokem by 19 racks to 9. Right, so now that we've done that, let's have a look at the bracket. We'll see there's one match that's still going on, and that's the match between Mr. Fox and Marvin. Let's have a look at the stats, and then we'll explain this for the benefit of Stubb. Right, so now we've got the tournament stats. We'll go to the 9 ball stats and racks run. And where the hell's Bedhead? Oh, that's disappointing. Out of all of that, he's only got 3. Now, we would have thought he'd had a lot more, wouldn't we? That is That is really quite a shock. Bedhead, you're crap. Are you in the stream? Because I thought he'd a lot more than that. Anyway, Stub, if you're listening, if you look at this Racks Run tab in the stats, we can see that Larry is at the top of the Racks Run, not Racks Run High Run, even though he is. He's got 3, he had 3 in a row. This is the one that we're interested in, because at the end of the tournament, the player who is at the top of the Racks Run statistic for the whole tournament will get an additional 1,000 V dollars on top of whatever they get in the tournament. And that is 9ball.com's donation to the tournament prize fund. Nothing to do with Celeris. I'll just add it as a gift to whoever finishes top on that stat. So I'll have a top 10 of that that'll post an update. So we'll do that when we come to it. Meanwhile, if we go back to the bracket, we can then jump into that room and see whatever's left of this match with Mr. Fox and Marvin. If we can get in the room, that is. And Albinario has come online. Well, it looked as if you'd a lot bloody more than what you ended up getting. Only 3. Larry's top of the pile. That's the one that Stubbs got a good chance of winning, because he's had good stats for the Friday night 9-ball. I had a look at that, so Stubbs got a fair chance of winning that. So, did we have 2 golden breaks today? Was there 1 in that match? I don't think there was. There's only been 1 then. Good evening, Albie. I'm not explaining it again. Somebody tell it to Albie. Or what to do is watch the beginning of this stream whenever you get the chance. Once it's on YouTube, Albinario, and then you'll find out what I had to say. I've said it about 12 times already. I'm not saying it again. Well, where's this guy from? Because I don't think I've ever seen him play either. Or if I have, I don't remember. And again, I'm doing it and I can't get his flag up. I'll give up. Somebody tell me where he's from. Where's Marvin from? Well, he got off to a good start. He was 2-0 up against Mr. Fox. And Mr. Fox is doing his best to tie him up in knots here. Oh, is he? From the UK? Well, gets a hit. How's his luck? Well, that's not the best of safety shots. Looks as if he's put a wee bit of inside left to try and spin around the angles. Well, he's got an easy enough safety shot if he wants to play it. It's an awkward cut. You can just set that 2-ball over to the right hand side. Well, he's gone all out for the cut. He's got it. And he's on the 3. Well, you would think now with the score at 12-8, Marvin's going to have to put this one away if he's going to stay in touch. Or else this is ending up the way that the last match has just gone. Bedhead just ran away in the end. Well, I would also suggest that a player that's got a 2,137 rating, and I've never seen him, I don't know what times he plays at, but it would give you a fair idea that he's got a reasonable intelligence to know what he's doing generally. Oh, was he in a tournament before? No, I don't remember it. So he's been around for a while then. Well, this is the thing. I mean, I might have even streamed that. I don't remember. But this is people that just don't get online an awful lot. Well, he's made a right hash of that 6-ball because I don't know what he was doing to leave on the 7, but he looks as if he hasn't gone through with the shot. It looks as if he's dragged that and not went right through to complete the shot there. Is that right? Oh well, I probably did. I probably did stream it. It's probably on my website, on YouTube. I don't remember. But yeah, the likes of that shot there by Marvin's going to cost him dear. You just cannot. You have to cut out unforced errors. Unforced errors are going to be everybody's undoing in this tournament because it's going to be so easy to pick you off. Anybody that's got, you know, a reasonable level of talent to be able to run a table, just going to pick these racks from your pocket if you make these unforced errors. Now, what's he doing? Coming behind the 3. Yeah, and the spin is what's done him there. I always get the impression that Mr. Fox is trying to do too much with the cue ball a lot of times, which is what gets him into trouble. Or he's putting far too much on it when it doesn't need quite as much. And you know, with these pockets, you can't take liberties, they won't go in. Good evening or good morning, Yamaguchi Taru. It's got to be middle of the night, early. It must be near breakfast time. Oh, Mr. Fox gets another go. Well, I wonder if either of these players are going to be on that Racks Run leaderboard. Oh, 8-6 to Barry now. Well, I'll tell you, he couldn't have started any better. Yeah, what was it he had? He had two total clearances at the start of the match. Ronnie's sitting there biting his nails. Never got a sniff. Oh, I should be in bed. It's 5 minutes to 10 British summer time, 5 minutes to 9 Greenwich Mean Time at the moment. But I'm actually running on British summer time. Well, it's things like this that are going to gift Marvin back into the match. If Mr. Fox doesn't get this cut in the 8. And it goes. So the lead is 6 racks, and that's probably 6 too many for Marvin at this stage. It needs a complete turnaround, and it needs to be error free, and he's going to need a bit of assistance from Mr. Fox as well, so he needs everything to fall into place very quickly if he's going to turn this match. And the immediate problem is getting on that 3 ball. And he hasn't got into it enough. He just didn't go through with it enough. That needed to be right over towards the diamond to have a half chance at cutting that 3. So it should be, again, well, it's a poor safety, it has to be said. Not very good at all, although the 4 ball isn't going anywhere very fast. But not a good safety. Well, this is crying out for a cut to the side rail behind the 7 and 6 and get the cue ball right up the table. But Mr. Fox hasn't gone for it, and has he left the combo? He might well have left the combo if he can spin around the 9. He should have had that cue ball down in this bottom rail. That's where he went wrong there. You've always got to get the distance. And of course, Marvin got the combo, but he had no idea where the 4 balls would end up. Well, this time he's played a better safety. He's at least got the cover. Oh dear, and he doesn't want things like that to happen. The big kick out, and in goes the 4 past the 8. And a shot in the 5. Well, you don't need that when you're trailing by 6 racks. Well, this is not guaranteed. Where's the cue ball going? Into the hole. There we go. And it's a gift for Marvin. That's the sort of thing that Marvin needs to happen. He needs to get a bit of luck one way or the other. If he's going to get to double figures at least. So he's back to within 5. Needs a ball. 8 ball has gone in. Needs a shot in the 1. He's got a shot in the 1. And he should be running the table. End of. No questions asked. That's the situation he's in. He's got an open table. All the balls are there. And for a 2,137 rated player, he should be running this out. Well, the safest shot is in behind the 5 and 6 to open it up. He's going inside left. He could end up behind the 4 here. Oh, that's a poor choice of shot. He should have went behind the 5 and 6. You're always asking for trouble if there's a ball adjacent, and he's fell into the trap, hook, line and sinker. If only he'd listened to the commentator. Well, he's trying to massey around it, but he just dug a hole for himself there, and the chance has gone through the wrong choice of shot. The shot to play was around behind the 5 and 6. Big wide open space to get on that ball, and he walked straight into it, and his chance is gone, all because of that. And meanwhile, Mr. Fox is doing his best to get himself in trouble. He's gone square in the 5, and Marvin is going to get another bite at it. Now, if he does the sensible thing this time, he just jacks up and kills that cue ball, or rolls it dead weight, so he's rolling the 6 into the middle. Well, why did Stubb no enter it? Is that no the $300 one? Well, there's a sitter miss there by Marvin. A fairly straightforward roll into the middle. Has he got away with it? No, he hasn't, because that will cut. Big inside check on the cue ball to square it up the table. And that's how easily it is for racks to disappear when you're getting yourself needlessly out of shape. Not playing the right shot, the sensible shot, playing the risky shot and paying the price, and 2 racks have gone in the blink of an eye. So Mr. Fox with a 15-9 lead comes up dry. An adventurous cut to the top left hand corner pocket for Marvin to go for, but it'd be much better kicking that one ball onto the side rail and bringing the cue ball back towards the 3 and 8 and keeping distance between them. And well, I think he went all out for the pot. He got nowhere near it. And that 2 ball, well, somebody would have to convince me that goes past the 9. I don't think it's even worth looking at. No, I using my commentator's eye, I assessed the situation and decided Larry was going to have not much of a problem in his match, and I thought that the Mr. Strokem Bedhead match would be more interesting. In the end, I would probably have been better going to the Larry match. Yeah, that's the guy there responsible for cocking up the tournaments. That guy there, Brian Smith, that fella there. Good evening, Brian, or good morning, I should say. It's got to be about what, 8 o'clock in the morning, Australia time. So, Mr. Fox, 3-8 combo. Now, can he get past this 9 ball? to get up the table for the 4. Well, he's ran into the 9. He might be able to bank the 4. Yep, it's gone clean as a whistle. And now he can draw down behind the 7. Could have done with getting into it a wee bit more, but he should be out. So 15-9, sorry, 16-9. My eyes have gone to sleep. Just 3 away. Well, what went in there? 6 ball has gone. A cut in the 1. Where's the cue ball spinning to? Spinning right in behind the 5. Well, there's the sort of luck you need, at this time of the match. Easy enough to kick the 2. Well, he's not even got the hit in the 2, and it's a free goal with ball in hand for Mr. Fox. Well, all these matches that we've seen today, or I've watched, there's only been 1 golden break, and the pack is breaking from the conventional position. So we may well see a few more, but we've seen enough racks today, and we've only seen 1 golden break. Well, Marvin has been given a bit of a lifeline, but he's not got much room to work with this 5 ball. If he's going to try and squeeze it past that 7. Again, it'd be much easier playing a safety here. He can cut the 5 to the side rail, use that 9 and 8 and get the cue ball back down the table here. Well, he's playing it pocket weight. That is a good shot at that distance. Oh, 2 in the tournament. Well, somebody must have had 1 somewhere else. I certainly don't think Bedhead and Mr. Strokem had 1. So Marvin looks as if he's going to get to double figures. Oh, Cyrus got 1. So at least he's got to double figures, but he's trailing by 6. Needs a ball. He's got a ball. 5 ball goes in. Needs a shot, and he's not getting it. The 9 ball is the blocker. Let's have a look at these bloody stats. Hang on a minute. Where is it? On there. Break stats. Break money balls. Yep. So Berlintern got 1, and that Cyrus guy got 1. But this is the one that we're talking about, that one there. Larry's in the lead with 9 racks run, Cirrus with 7, and the rest are fairly disappointing to say the least. Most of all Bedhead, he's only got 3. He's tied with Potman, for God's sake, the guy with 12-foot arms. He's got 3 racks run, same as Potman. So that will update at the end of this at the end of this match. You're going to have to zoom out to the farthest extremities so that you can level up to Potman's standard. So Mr. Fox goes for the bank, gets the bank. Again, just a wee bit too much juice in it. Bank again. And it's 2 away. Another dry one, and this time though a shot for Marvin again. I'm going to say it even though I don't need to, but with chances like this you must be running racks if you're going to be anywhere near a contender, and that, I'm afraid, ain't going to get the job done. Far too much spin on it. You've got to concentrate on the pot first. And I think the gap is there. But you can't afford to be making all of these errors. And that may well be his chance gone. He's got another go though, albeit from distance. But all of these balls are on if he can get it and get back down the table for this 2 ball into the left middle. I don't think it goes past the 3. Well, Marvin's all of a sudden lost all sense of aiming whatsoever because he's a mile away from that one as well. He's got lucky though. And I think Marvin is burnt out. But he's been given another chance. Well, he's blown 2 of them so far. How many chances does he want? Well, this is where you have to just use plain and simple logic. Where do you want to be? You want to just follow through the 2. You want to stun the 3 in and get the cue ball out, or do you want to baby it in and try and finish the short side of the 4? You have to make that decision. The shot to play would be the stun from the angle he's at. And then just drop the 4 in. And this is the important one. Getting good on this 5. This is the one that may well clinch it. Because to get on this 6 you need to have the angle to get back up the table. He's going to scratch and that's a disaster. And Marvin's doing it all wrong, I'm afraid. That the control and the pace there with the cue ball has gone out the window. And once again Mr. Fox loads of juice on it. Now he's got an easy safety if he wants it. And it's going to be 3rd time lucky for Marvin in this rack. well, one thing for Mr. Fox is, obviously, as the tournament goes on, he's not going to be given these many chances and getting away with it. Got to tighten up. And I think Marvin's got himself in trouble again. Yeah, he's blocked out. Well, if it hits the cue ball full in the face like that, he's got it safe. Well, safe to a certain extent. The 9 ball has been comboed. And Mr. Fox on the hill, needing 1. And the 9 ball again is pretty adjacent to that corner pocket, bottom right. The break is dry. The 2 ball is not in a great position. It's in a better position now with that little kiss. So once again, the thinking process, you pot the 3, you make sure you have some sort of angle on the 4. Well, there's a little angle, and this needs to be firm. He needs to move the cue ball to get out for the 5 if it's going into the same pocket, which he has done. Now again, how much do you want to try and do with this cue ball? Well, if you run inside and past the right side of that 7, you're leaving an awkward cut in the 6. He's come inside it, and he's got to the middle pocket, and that will do. Oh well, it looks as if it's all over then. They were talking about Barry Hawkins' stats earlier on, and I think he's been into quite a high amount of semis in his career, but he's not had very much success from there on. So now it looks likely then that he's in the final. The question is whether he can keep the standard up in the final. Well, it's 1 more rack on the board for Marvin. And he's got the 8 ball in the break. I mean, he is a consistent player. You know, he's good over the distance. He's had good runs in the World Championships, but he's not had as many finishes deep in the tournaments as he probably should have for a player of his standard, because he's a very heavy scorer. He always has been. And the problem, of course, now is there's that many stumbling blocks to come across, especially these tournaments that are first to 4. I mean, anybody can beat you in a first to 4 in these 1, 2, 8 fields. And Marvin, again, he's way off the mark on that 2 ball there. That's a good cut. Well, is this the run out that's going to get the deal done for Mr. Fox? Well, he's got a problem here though. He's going to have to try and get. Well, he's run into the 5. He's got the kiss. He's got lucky, and he's lying flush on the 5. to get good position in the 6. He probably should have had a few more trophies under his belt, Barry Hawkins. Well, there's a mistake by Mr. Fox, but once again, he's got lucky. And Marvin going to have to kick and hope. Oh, that might be lucky, and he's got a bit of luck. He needs a bit more though with this cue ball. Well, he's going to have to go for the bank. He's got a 95% chance this is going in. Oh, it's hung up. It's hung up. Well, use the jaw, but check the depth of that 7-baller. It's just drawn straight. It's just drawn straight. Spinning out behind to the right, and that's perfect. So the stats will be updated any second now. We'll have a look at those and see if Larry stays at the top. But Mr. Fox is through against Marvin by 19 racks to 11. And we'll also have a look at the bracket and see how that shapes up. So, let's do a quick... can I do a refresh on here? Or can I go there and go there? That might not update it. Let's try it that way. Well, Mr. Fox is sitting there with just 2, and Larry remains at the top, and Marvin has got 2 as well out of that match. So we've got Larry at the top in racks run. We've got Cirrus in second place, and then it's a battle to get other players onto that top 10 list, but that will happen. Right. Now what was I going to do? Oh, that's what I was going to do. We'll have one last look at the bracket, and we can see that Cirrus is through, having won that match against Whiskey, 19 racks to 7. We've got Larry through to play Popman. Popman having coming through against Legit Matthew. We've got Dubrovnik through to play Mr. Fox. We've got Muggsy set up to play VP Monster at 3 AM in the morning on March the 30th, whatever day that is. But I certainly, more than likely, will not be there for that. I could be working, I can't remember what day it is. We've got Bedhead through, of course, from that result earlier against Mr. Strokem. And then we've got a couple of matches further down here. We've got Tony Sam set to play Spectre Dawn on March the 31st. And then on Monday, I think that is, we've got Wink at Me against Hairpig. That's in the afternoon, but as I say, I'll be working till 2 PM in the afternoon, so I won't see the start of that match. It'll take me about half an hour to get home. And then we've got One Pocket Slim against SD92, and that will be for later on. Oh no, wait a minute. Aye, that is right. That will be for later on that day, on Monday. I should be able to get that one. And then as we go further down, we've got Eloquente and Super Noob. That's a new match that's come on the bracket, and that's for 7 PM on April the 1st. And there is the result from the match earlier on this afternoon, the one that went on for 2 hours 40 minutes. Juggy Bob has beaten Bellendern by 19 racks to 13. So with that, guys, it's a thank you for your company. Stay safe, take care, and I'll bid you a good night. And don't forget to switch your clocks forward 1 hour to British summertime. And I will see you again very soon for some more of the matches from this year's VP4 Virtual 9-Ball World Championship. So I bid you good night. and see you again soon.